Buenas noches, soy Blanca Klein. Bienvenidos al programa Dialogando con la Policía del Condado Montgomery. En nuestro programa le proveeremos información acerca de crímenes en el área. Tendremos invitados especiales quienes nos hablarán de sus áreas de experiencia para que usted pueda obtener la ayuda apropiada. Esta noche estará con nosotros Mario Wortham, administrador del programa para personas mayores y discapacitadas con el Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos, quien nos explicará acerca de los programas que su departamento ofrece a personas mayores y lo que usted debe hacer si un miembro de su familia de edad mayor es abusado. Mario, bienvenido. Welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And your Spanish is so good. You said, hola, that's great.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
Your unit, your department, it's huge. It's big.
Yes.
With a lot of problems that can help people out. I mean, the problems that people have that, and unfortunately, Hispanic community, they're not very aware. Su departamento es grande, y no grande en el sentido que con muchos problemas que ustedes tienen, pero sin embargo, tiene muchos recursos que pueden ayudar a las personas mayores que la comunidad hispana generalmente no lo sabe. Can you tell us about your program?
Yes, we do many things.
Nosotros hacemos muchas cosas.
With the Department of Health and Human Services, Aging and Disability Services, and we start with an information line as a conduit for information for our seniors and vulnerable adults.
Entonces nosotros tenemos muchos programas, pero empezamos principalmente con un programa que tenemos que es más que todo que las personas pueden llamar para buscar información. That is really important. You have people that speak Spanish. Usted tiene personal que habla español.
That is correct. We have bilingual staff with our information assistants, our Aging Disability Resource Unit, and intake units. And I always like to give this number out because it's very important.
Yes.
When folks need information, the 240-777-3000 line.
And you also have social workers that speak Spanish?
We have social workers that speak Spanish as well, yes.
Entonces, ellos en este programa que tienen para más que todo el trabajo que hace es ayudar a las personas que son abusadas, es que tienen personas que pueden tomar la información en español y también tienen trabajadores sociales que pueden ayudar a trabajar a las personas mayores que tienen problemas y más que todo son abusadas. And it's more important that if people call in their abuse, they will be called in the right place.
Right, right.
Y si usted llama y es una persona mayor y es abusada, pues este es el lugar exacto donde podría llamar. You said that you wanted to give out the number. What is the number?
Okay, in English or Español?
En español.
Okay, let me
Nos
get
va a dar el número de teléfono de su departamento.
Yeah, it's 240-777-3000.
Maravilloso, bravo.
Okay, 240-777-3000.
So that's the number that people should have with them all the time.
Yes, right. It's a great number for information assistance,
Yes.
be it housing, Meals on Wheels, and other programs that we offer to seniors and to adults with various challenges, physical or cognitive challenges, but also for adult protective services where we investigate abuse, neglect, or exploitation. That's the number you would call as well.
Entonces ese es número, el 240-777-3000, es el número muy importante que las personas pueden tener en sus carteras, so they can have it on the refrigerator, in their room,
Yes.
o puede tener en su refrigeradora, en su cuarto, para que si usted es persona que necesita ayuda con comida o con vivienda o necesita ayuda porque usted ha sido abusada por explotación, you said exploitation, negligence, and abuse.
Yes.
Y abuso, entonces es el teléfono donde le van a ayudar. What is abuse? What constitutes under your office abuse? ¿Qué es lo que lo constituye el abuso en su oficina?
Good question. Abuse is really the intentional harm of a vulnerable adult or senior by a trusted individual or caregiver.
El abuso, la definición de abuso para ellos generalmente es un daño físico que harían a una persona con intención de lastimar más que toda una persona cercana a ustedes, una persona que conocen. So if I am abused, I'm a senior citizen, I'm abused, and I call your office, si yo soy una persona mayor y soy abusada y llamo a la oficina, what will you do for me?
Well, we'll screen the call. We want to find out from the caller who, if it's the person themselves is abused, that's terrific, but more times than not, it could be a family member, it could be a neighbor or a friend, and they can call anonymously and provide the information about what it is they saw, who the individual is, where it occurred, and any other details they might have so that we can make a determination on when to send out a team.
Entonces, lo que usted haría por una persona que llama que es abusada, primeramente, tienen que llamar al 240-777-3000 para obtener la información. Ustedes hacen, you will ask questions. Ustedes van a hacer preguntas, not because you want to be nosy, but because you need to have questions, correct? Or
we have to have at least some basic information of who it is the alleged victim, if they know who perhaps the alleged perpetrator is, the person inflicting the harm. But whatever you've got, please do share that with us. We want to at least know, where and hopefully whom was hurt.
Yeah. Entonces, ustedes no hacen esas preguntas por ser curiosos. Ustedes hacen esas preguntas porque, como usted dice, tiene que tener una base. Realmente tiene una base para ver en qué se van a basar, para saber dónde está la investigación, si realmente, and also want to confirm if there is abuse or not.
Yes, and so what we'll do is we'll take that call and we'll send out an Adult Protective Services social worker to assess the situation.
Entonces, lo que necesitan saber es, so you need to know the name, where did it happen, and anything else, the address?
Yes, please.
And this is only for Montgomery County.
That is correct.
Necesita saber el nombre, la dirección, dónde ha pasado, y eso solamente son para personas residentes aquí en el Condado Montgomery, although there's other departments with health and human services throughout the state and throughout the country, but you only work with people that lived in Montgomery County.
That is correct.
Entonces, hay departamentos de servicios sociales en todo Estados Unidos, en el estado de Maryland también, pero él trabaja y su departamento es solamente para las personas que viven en el condado de Montgomery. So they will have to call 911, and if the information is incorrect, you will send that to Adult Protective Services.
That's right. If it happens to be a different jurisdiction, let's say Washington, D.C. or Prince George's County, we would give that information to the caller.
Perfecto. Entonces, si es que eso, llaman al 240-777-3000 y el abuso es en Washington o en Prince George's County, you're not going to hang up the phone on them.
No,
usted no le va a colgar el teléfono, pero va a mandar esa información a Prince George's o a Howard County, donde sea la persona que vive, para que la persona sea ayudada. What are the programs you have? ¿Qué otro tipo de programas usted tiene?
Sure. In addition to Adult Protective Services, we also offer other support programs. We offer case management. We have a home care where we provide personal care support services to assist the family in taking care of a loved one in the community. We work with respite care opportunities to give a caregiver an opportunity to take a break from their care.
Entonces ellos también tienen otros programas, por ejemplo, si un miembro de su familia mayor, it has to be a senior citizen, an adult.
Well,
what is the age? What is la edad?
That's a good question. I was thinking if I should mention that. In fact, we service folks 18 years through 100 plus. But we're looking at folks who have some type of challenge, functional challenge, if they have difficulty bathing, for instance, or getting dressed, or taking care of their apartment, accessing food. We'll provide support services to help that person remain in the community if at all possible.
Entonces, la edad realmente que ellos ayudan es desde los 18 años hasta los 100 años o más. Entonces, por ejemplo, si una persona necesita ayuda porque está enferma y necesita bañarse, entonces ellos pueden aplicar. But they have to apply for it. Tienen que aplicar para esos servicios. They have to apply. Is there any income limitation?
Yes, there are income and asset considerations for specific programs, but when you call the 240-777-3000 line, they'll walk the caller through what programs might be appropriate or not.
Entonces, una vez que usted llame, ellos van a decidir ver qué programas son apropiados para usted. Tienen que ver si la persona cualifica dependiendo cuánto gana. What about immigration status? ¿Qué pasa con los casos de las personas que no tienen papeles de inmigración?
That's a good question. We don't look at immigration status per se. We're looking at the individual in the environment, and we're wanting to see what their need is. With Adult Protective Services, services, especially documentation is not something that we're going to address. That is not our charge. Our charge is to protect the individual and provide support
Entonces
services.
a ellos no les interesa los datos migratorios de las personas, sino que solamente so they can only just call and they will be an assessment, there will be an assessment. Ellos pueden check, ustedes llaman, ellos van a ver si ustedes pueden cualificar y entonces pues they will get help. Can you tell me quickly what are the signs of abuse? ¿Puede decirnos cuáles son los signos de abuso?
Sure. Yes, there's a wonderful tool that we have called Red Flags of Abuse. And in fact, that's something that's going to be on ride-on buses periodically for our citizens to see. But for instance, if someone's isolated, if you notice as a neighbor someone's isolated and they're not participating in coffee clubs or book clubs or going to the faith community, that could be a warning sign.
Una señal puede ser si una persona se siente muy sola, entonces puede ser una señal. What is the next one?
Another warning sign could be if someone's no longer paying their bills regularly.
¿Quién sabe esta persona no está pagando sus cuentas regulares?
Right, eviction notices.
Notas de evicción.
If there's strangers showing up at a person's home that the community doesn't recognize.
Si un extraño llega a la casa, eso puede ser otro signo.
Right.
So there are several, and we should pay close attention. And you also work very close with, and we're going to have Sergeant Satensky very soon. You work very close, and I'm so proud of you and him, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. And I know that the community should hear more from you. I wanted to invite you again because we need to give so much. We just give a hint of the information that you have in as many services that you have, and people deserve to have the help, and you wanted to have the members of the Hispanic community to call. Entonces, usted quiere tener, what is the last advice that you will give to the community?
Well, please do call us if you have a need, if you have a question, if you're concerned about a possible abuse or neglect situation. That 240-777-3000 line.
Thank you.
Yes.
Cuando regresemos, hablaremos con el Sargento Satensky. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
El esquema del fraude del amor, o como en inglés lo conocen como sweetheart swindles, empieza cuando una persona, puede ser mujer o hombre, conocen a otra persona a través de las páginas de la red.
Sí, fui víctima de fraude. Conocí a esta persona por internet, la cual tuvimos una relación, ¿verdad?, por chat. Él me estaba pidiendo pues fotos, diciéndome su historia, que era militar, y toda esa historia. Estuvimos hablando como 3 meses por chat. Siempre me estaba escribiendo, incluso me llamaba por teléfono. Después de 2 semanas fue que me pide un dinero que él me iba a enviar para yo enviárselo a su mamá, que estaba enferma.
Lo más difícil de este esquema para las víctimas e incluso para nosotros los investigadores es que el esquema es uno largo. Es un proceso donde la persona coge el tiempo para ganarse la confianza de su víctima.
Pues me voy al banco con mi mamá y me siento con la gerente del banco y le notifico que me llegó un cheque, ¿verdad?, para que lo deposite, y ella ahí se da cuenta que el cheque es fraudulento. Conocí la misma investigadora del banco, me puso en contacto con otra víctima que tenía el mismo problema que el mío y la misma persona. De hecho, es la misma historia, la misma foto, el mismo esquema de fraude.
Aproximadamente por un mes estaba en comunicación constante, y de posterior entonces es que plantea el hecho de que está sumamente preocupada porque su mamá se encuentra en Texas, que la van a operar de la cadera y que él está por allá y que no puede atender a su mamá y que él es hijo único. No requiere que yo retire mi dinero. Él va a enviar un cheque a través del correo general y lo va a hacer el envío para que yo deposite. Una vez se haga efectivo en mi cuenta, yo envíe el dinero a través de MoneyGram. Yo me tengo que hacer responsable de pagar los $3.500. Pues se me fue el mundo al piso.
Además de hacer la investigación y tratar de evitar la pérdida de dinero. En este caso específicamente, una de las víctimas se pudo evitar la pérdida, la otra no.
Investigue, tenga dudas, y refiéralo, no se quede con ese problema. El fraude no es nada para avergonzarse, el fraude es para actuar.
Si una oferta parece demasiado buena para ser realidad, lo más probable es que sea fraude. Evite ser víctima. Mucho ojo al fraude.
Yes. Bueno, le damos la bienvenida al sargento Jordan Satensky.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. Again, it's an honor to have you and Mario together. We had a program yesterday. We did it. You guys did a great job. And,
Thank you.
You with Montgomery County Police.
Yes.
Usted está con la Policía del Condado de Montgomery. Es un honor y un placer tenerlo aquí con nosotros. How long have you been with the police department?
I've been a police officer for about 16 years.
Entonces, él es oficial por 16 años y ahora usted tiene un puesto muy importante. Now you have a very important and busy job. What is your title?
Currently, I'm the detective sergeant in charge of the Elder Vulnerable Adult Abuse Unit for the county
Él
police.
actualmente está trabajando como detective, es detective, pero también es un supervisor de detectives que trabajan con personas que son personas mayores que son abusadas y son personas mayores más que todo vulnerables. That must be a hard job to work with because many people don't want to report that they're abused, and more important that they're vulnerable.
Yes, we have these vulnerable and elder adults throughout Montgomery County, and we don't usually hear about it until it's too late because people don't call.
So I said to Sergeant Satensky que es muy importante el trabajo que hace porque generalmente las personas que son abusadas, las personas mayores y vulnerables, tienen miedo y no quieren reportar. They're afraid and don't want to report because it will affect their family life if a family member is abusing them.
Absolutely. They don't want to ruin that
relationship
within the family. Families are hard to get into, especially when there's something like this
Entonces,
going on.
ellos no quieren destrozar la relación que tienen con la familia. Entonces, they suffer in silence. Ellos sufren en silencio.
Absolutely.
So, what will you define abuse with the police department?
Abuse for us and what we work with the state's attorney's office comes down to, well, first we'll go to the high end where you actually have some sort of a physical or a sexual abuse.
Entonces, lo que nosotros, el Departamento de la Policía, con los estándares de la Oficina de los Fiscales, lo primero que nosotros vemos es si hay un abuso físico o abuso sexual.
And usually, by that time, that's just what we would normally get involved with my group. But there's also the emotional, psychological.
Pero también hay abuso emocional y psicológico. In the Hispanic community, we don't see that will be abuse, physical or emotional, will be a case that the police can investigate. Nosotros en la comunidad hispana no vemos que realmente en nuestra cultura el abuso psicológico o el abuso físico, el abuso mental, eso puede ser algo que realmente puede ser investigado como, because it will be investigated as a crime.
Right, correct.
Eso será investigado como un crimen.
But usually it starts off with that psychological bit and moves into the other ones.
Entonces, pongan atención porque generalmente esto empieza con un tipo de insultos o un abuso psicológico y va creciendo. It's like a monster that starts growing. Parece como un monstruo que va creciendo and later to a physical abuse.
Yes, unfortunately. And by the time we find out, normally it's too late because many people don't call us ahead of time.
Entonces eso puede llegar a ser un abuso físico y lastimosamente muchas veces la policía, your unit don't find out early that we can be prevented. Ellos no se enteran que ellos pueden prevenir estos casos hasta que es muy tarde. You also do investigations in nursing homes of people.
Correct. We actually have a unique situation here in Montgomery County where Montgomery County Police, Montgomery County Adult Protective Services, and as well as several other county and state agencies work together in this area. Many other counties don't do this.
Entonces, en Montgomery County tenemos algo muy único porque trabaja la Policía del Condado de Montgomery con el Departamento de Servicios Sociales y otras agencias para cooperar con la investigación, que en otros lugares no pasa eso. So, I'm sure you had cases of Hispanic people that have been abused, and I have heard many where family members that take their loved one to a nursing home, they've been abused and they are afraid to speak because they're afraid that they will be thrown out of the nursing home.
Right.
Entonces, generalmente en la comunidad hispana nosotros vemos que familiares que tienen a sus familiares en asilos no reportan el crimen porque tienen miedo que la persona va a ser echada del asilo. Will that be the fact if somebody makes a report?
No, we don't look to do that at all. We will take them out of that situation if we
Okay.
can and put them in a safer environment. We actually have that ability here in Montgomery County.
Great.
Not so much on an emergent basis.
Right.
We have a very limited area for that, but we have another facility run by the Charles E. Life Communities.
Wow, exacto. Entonces, no, eso no pasaría nunca porque realmente ellos lo sacan a la persona mayor del ambiente de abuso, donde es, por ejemplo, en el asilo, y los ponen en lugares, hay un centro donde los pueden poner. You say the name is Charles.
Charles E. Life Communities. down in
Charles,
Rockville.
el nombre es Charles E. Life Community, but people have to get through Montgomery County Police to get there.
Not exactly. They don't have to come to us directly. They don't have to go to APS. They can go directly to that facility and try to come into that if they are in need. And that is a physical or a sexual where they need to get out of that environment and be safe.
Entonces, si la persona necesita salir de donde están, pueden ir a ese lugar y pedir ayuda si es que no se sienten que están seguros en su casa. But it will be a good idea to go through the police, because I'm sure like in the Hispanic community, they won't know where to go. We don't even have a location.
And talking about coming to the police, I want to make it extremely clear that for victims within Montgomery County, we don't care where you're from. We don't care what your immigration status is. If you're a victim, come to us.
Thank you.
We
Sasha
need
Satinsky.
you guys to come to us and folks to come to us so we can help you. And I don't want you to be afraid just because of some status on a form.
Yes. En lo importante que el sargento Satensky quiere decirles a ustedes que a la policía del Condado Montgomery no le importa de dónde es, cómo ha venido, si tiene papeles o no tiene papeles. Lo que nosotros queremos que ustedes want them to be safe, que esté seguro, be happy, esté feliz y viva bien, porque an older person, I mean, needs to be happy, and after they have worked so much in their lives,
They deserve
they don't need to be abused.
Absolutely. And especially more than, and I'm making up a number here, I want to say about 80% are family members that are doing this to their family members, unfortunately.
Entonces, es lo que estamos diciendo, que realmente las personas que trabajan tanto en su vida, cuando se jubilan, no necesitan ser abatidas, abusadas por los familiares. Él no tiene números exactos de estadística, pero dice que un 80% más o menos son las personas que han sido abusadas por los familiares.
Now, anybody can call us at the number that Mario mentioned earlier,
Right.
or they can come to the Family Justice Center in downtown Rockville, where we are housed.
Entonces, las personas pueden llamar al número que dio Mario, al 240-777-3000, o pueden también, if it's an emergency, si es una emergencia,
911.
por favor, 911. We do have operators that speak Spanish.
Absolutely.
We do have officers that speak Spanish.
Absolutely, we do.
Entonces, el 911 tenemos operadores que hablan español, tenemos oficiales que hablan español. We have the language bank that has 53 languages.
It's something like, yes.
Yeah. El banco de lenguas que por lo menos hablan 53 idiomas. So the help is there, la ayuda está ahí.
It is there, and you just have to activate it. And we'll bring, if you come to the Family Justice Center, we can bring most of the stuff to you so you don't have to go a lot of other places.
So you are located at the Family Justice
Yes.
Center. Entonces su oficina de él está en la oficina de justicia familiar, donde I define the Justice Center as a grocery store. You go get your tomatoes, your potatoes, your Coke, whatever. And the Family Justice Center is one stop to get everything. Usted hace una parada al Centro Familiar de Justicia, ya igual que se va a comprar sus papas, sus tomates, sus naranjas, va ahí a ver, you have attorneys, tienen abogados.
We have the state's attorneys there.
Los fiscales, counseling,
Counseling, victim
consejería.
advocates.
Tenemos personas que pueden luchar por las víctimas.
And the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
Y la oficina de los alguaciles, así que
As well as the a member of the adult
But
protective
also,
services.
because there are many senior citizens that are undocumented. Hay
Correct.
muchas personas mayores que son indocumentadas. And if they are victims of abuse, they have a chance to have a visa.
Correct, and we actually have attorneys that don't work for the state's attorney's office or the police department. They're separate. It's Catholic Charities that will assist you, or if you qualify, will assist you with filing for what is called the U visa process.
Entonces, puede usted aplicar para la U visa, y en la oficina de los del Family Justice Center puede hacer eso. But there is a key, Sergeant Satensky. They must call 911.
And they must be cooperative throughout the investigation.
Entonces, para usted aplicar para esa visa, usted si es abusada, primero llame al 911. That's the key, es lo primero.
Yep. Call and we'll come to help. Or
Vamos
come to us and we'll help.
porque tenemos, because we have a record of somebody getting help.
Yes.
Número dos, you guys have to write a report.
Correct.
Usted tiene que hacer que un oficial tome el reporte del abuso. Y número 3, you said that the most important, they have to cooperate.
Correct.
Y el número 3, ustedes tienen que cooperar con las autoridades. They can't just call 911, speak to an officer, and forget about the whole
that
world
doesn't
is over.
qualify for the U visa.
Eso no le cualifica para nada. You have to get counseling, you have to get, whatever they tell you to do, you have to do it, and you will be successfully will get a U visa.
Maybe. I don't have any
but
say in the process.
That's right.
But
No
they'll
tenemos que
help
saber,
you
pero
with
si
a Catholic Charities.
if they follow the steps, then there's a chance for them to
Correct.
get a U visa.
Because I know there's an allotment each year. I just don't know
Si
it.
sigue los pasos, usted, que le van a decir, the lawyers will tell them, si sigue los pasos, usted va a poder, posiblemente, dependiendo del abogado lo que haga, puede tener un chance de aplicar la vez. A quick advice to the Hispanic community, to family members and senior citizens. Un consejo para los ciudadanos mayores y también para las familias.
On elder abuse?
On elder abuse.
If you suspect something, one of the biggest things that people might see is the victim may withdraw from the rest of the family.
Si usted sospecha de abuso, lo primero que hace generalmente la persona abusada se sale del grupo de la familia, no físicamente, pero emocionalmente.
Many times the same traits that a domestic violence victim has, an elder vulnerable adult abuse victim will
Muchas
have.
veces lo que está pasando, la víctima de violencia doméstica, una víctima mayor está pasando por lo mismo.
If you suspect it and you're not sure if you need to confront it or not, or you're willing to, please call APS,
Entonces,
come to the Family Justice Center, call
si
us.
usted sospecha, emergencia 911, si no, 240-777, 3000 Sergeant Setensky, thank you so much.
Thank you very
You
much,
have to
Blanca.
come back.
Absolutely.
Because we haven't talked about much of
We talked about a lot
and
today, but
you
I'll be
also
happy to come back.
are supervisor of other units that are very
Yes.
important. Así que usted tiene que volver. Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta, alguna preocupación o necesita mandarme un email, por favor, mándeme a blanca.clean at montgomerycountymd.gov y mi número de teléfono es el 240-773-5036.